Reporting over the course of the last several days that top Democratic leadership, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer, expressed to the president privately that polling showed he was unlikely to win come November. Might that have had an impact?
I think that was ultimately what compelled President Biden to reach this decision, what had to be an excruciating decision, Hallie, because he was incredibly defiant that he was not going to drop out of the race. But you're absolutely right. The fact that there seemed to be this coordinated effort by Democratic leadership, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, frankly, former President Obama expressing concerns privately about the state of his candidacy, and all of that pressure, plus the reality check. He was shown really difficult polling nationally in key battleground states that suggested he wouldn't be able to win.
Kristen, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kristen, but we have some other breaking news here as we're talking about this question of what's next. President Biden is now endorsing his vice president, Kamala Harris, to be the nominee of the Democratic Party this year. I want to read now what the president says himself. In a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, he reiterates he's decided not to accept the nomination and to focus his energies on his duties as president for the remainder of his term. He goes on to say that his first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. He says, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, he says, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. He concludes by saying, and again, this is President Biden saying, Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. So, Kristen, we now have our moderator